Om Shanti. Good morning, all of you. So, I'm going to share the screen because I've been tasked to read this Avyak Murli. Before I start the Avyak Murli, I just want to congratulate all of you for all your efforts that you're making. You probably just finished your Amrit Vela and now you're here for the Avyak Murli revision. And then immediately after the Avyak Murli will be over, you will jump into your regular Murli class. So yeah, you're making wonderful effort. Keep it up. I hope all of you are doing well. Yeah, that's probably not even a question. Each Baba's child is doing amazing. I'm sure each one of you is flying high in the sky, and mm, coming closer and closer to your perfection every moment, every day. All right, so we listen to the Murli of the 12th of December 1983. It's a long Murli, so we will be reading it in two installments. Yeah. So today and tomorrow. So the essence of the Murli is the attainment of all powers through concentration. The attainment of all powers through concentration. So in this Murli, Baba is reminding us that as time will come closer to perfection or completion, what will happen is people in the world will start to struggle and suffer a lot. They will call out to us and we will need to help them. We'll have to help them out. But we can help them only when we are full. And we can be full only when we make focused effort, concentrated effort. You see, if we are constantly getting pulled in many different directions, if our efforts are scattered, we sometimes do effort and sometimes not, then we won't have that much energy, that much power left within ourselves to be able to serve the ailing world. Yes, so the whole world is becoming more and more hopeless. So we have to equip ourselves adequately at this time. So let's read the Murli. Today, all of you are stable in the one pure thought of celebrating a meeting, are you not? All to have the one thought at the same time. This power of one concentrated thought is extremely elevated. Collective consciousness is what Baba is trying to say that we have to create. Like a laser beam. See, all the photons, when they are in sync with each other, then the amount of energy that is generated is tremendous. So if we too can hold one thought, one concentrated thought, individually and then collectively, then think of it, how amazing we can make our lives and the world at large in general. So this power of concentration, of the one thought, of the gathering, enables you to achieve whatever you want. Where there is the power of concentration, all powers are also there. Therefore, concentration is the key to easy success. Therefore, concentration is the key to easy success. See, Baba doesn't want us to labor, doesn't want us to struggle. He wants us to get to the highest level of success by taking an easy path. Yes, we all have to make effort, but smooth effort, simple effort, effortless effort is what Baba wants us to go through. So therefore, concentration is the key to easy success. The power of concentration of even one elevated soul can work wonders. So just imagine what the power of concentration of many elevated souls in a collective form can achieve. Where there is concentration, there will also naturally be greatness and clarity. Where there's concentration, there will also naturally be greatness and clarity. So, Baba is telling us about what are the different benefits that can come, that will come for sure when we have focused attention, concentrated thought. So, concentration is essential for the invention of anything new, whether it is an invention of the physical world or a spiritual invention. Yeah, those scientists go underground and they practice something, they experiment with something, stay focused, and eventually come up with new inventions and new discoveries. So we too have to stay focused in one concentrated thought, one pure consciousness, and then we too will be able to invent many new things, discover amazing things. So, concentration means to stabilize in one thought, it means to be absorbed in the love of one. Concentration easily frees you from wandering around in many directions. For as long as your power of concentration is stabilized, for that long you will easily have forgotten your body and the physical world. So if we are focused on Baba, Baba's love, then we will forget this old body, the old world, which generally creates so much of sorrow for us. Because your whole world for that time is that in which you are totally engrossed. With the power of concentration, you can enable a message to reach any soul. You can invoke any soul. You can catch the sound of any soul. You can give your cooperation to any soul while sitting far away. You do know about this concentration, do you not? Let there be no thought apart from that of the one Father. Let there be the experience of all attainments of the whole world in just the one Father. Let there be just the one. To become concentrated by making effort is a different stage. However, to become stabilized in concentration is a very powerful stage. Even one thought in such an elevated stage gives you many experiences of being equal to the Father. Because we are able to harness the power of God, Baba's power, power of the universe, and so we're able to do amazing things. We feel like we have become very close to God, like the Father. Now experiment with this spiritual power and see for yourself. For this, you definitely need the tool of solitude. You practice this, then in the final moments, evil experience solitude in the midst of upheaval. So you see, Baba wants solitude, just nothing else. That is constitute. Then, even when there is a lot of upheaval around us, chaos, pandemonium, then we will remain stable. That upheaval will not create internal upheaval within ourselves. However, this practice is needed over a long time, bahut kal. For only then will you experience yourself to be in solitude, even though there may be many types of upheaval all around you. At the present time, it is extremely essential to become an image of experience with such incognito powers. Even now, all of you consider yourselves to be very busy, but you are still free at present. See, Baba is reminding us, although we say we're busy, tomorrow we are going to get busier. If at this time we have X amount of time, tomorrow it's going to be X minus 1, X minus 2, X minus 3, and so on and so forth. We will progressively become busier over time. And at the end, there really won't be any time. So, if we are able to practice solitude, we will be able to experience this expansion of time. We'll be able to conquer time. We'll be able to achieve amazing things. And that will be the sanskara created for us. Then, when the true upheaval happens, when everything is in total chaos, even then we will be able to do amazing things. So, as you make further progress, you will get even busier. Therefore, at present, you can practice and make spiritual endeavor for yourself in many different ways. While walking and moving around, whatever time you can make for yourself, always use that in a worthwhile way to practice this for yourself. So, whatever little time we get, we should use that, not waste it in other things, but take that time to be in solitude, to have that love for Baba in a focused way, in a concentrated way. So, day by day, due to the atmosphere, there will be more emergency cases. At present, you give them medicine quite comfortably. Later, however, because of the emergency cases, you'll have to deal with more cases in a short time and with less power. So, in other words, we'll have to become more efficient. Since you issue the challenge that there is only one hospital for the world where you can become free from disease from all time, where will all the disease people from everywhere go? There'll be a line of emergency cases. What will you do at that time? You will give them the blessing of being immortal, will will need at time. Even now they need that, but later that's all that they will be able to digest, the blessing of being immortal. Now Baba says something very beautiful here. You will give them the blessing of being immortal, will you not? With the oxygen of self practice. You see, self practice will become an oxygen, will become oxygen. So, what is Baba saying? With the oxygen of self practice, you will have to give them the breath of courage. You see, when people are not able to breathe, when their lungs go bad, some respiratory issue, then they are not able to breathe well, right? They struggle to breathe. Then we give them oxygen. And so, with that oxygen that into their body, they are able to breathe better. So, our self practice, our self efforts will become the oxygen that will help others breathe. And what will be the breath? The breath of courage. Because they will become hopeless, they will become disheartened, no hope. And for their hopelessness, their disheartenment, we'll have to infuse courage in them. So, again, our self practice will become the oxygen that will give them the breath of courage so that they too will be able to get something out of this whole thing. So, many hopeless cases, that is, those who have become disheartened by everything, will come. To give courage to such hopeless souls is to give them breath. You'll have to give oxygen immediately. We can't say, oh, I don't have any oxygen tanks left. All my oxygen tanks are empty. We will have to have oxygen at all times. So, will you be able to give such souls, pardon me, will you be able to make such souls powerful on the basis of the plan you have for yourself? Again, it has to be over a long period of time. बहुत काल का effort. So don't say that you don't have time. Yeah, Baba is. So don't say that you don't have time. It is now that you have time, but later you won't have any time. You even tell people that you won't find time, but you will have to make time. Yes, so we can't just talk the talk. We also have to walk the walk. See, we have to practice we preach. If we are telling others, hey, you will never have time, you'll have to take out time. You have to prioritize your life. So for us too, we have to prioritize this. Prioritize taking out time for self effort. So you tell people that you won't find time, you'll have to make time. You tell them this, do you not? Therefore, force self practice to don't say that you will practice if you have time. You will have to make time, even in small eloquence. Yeah, a few minutes here, few minutes there. Yeah, somehow we have to figure out for ourselves and take out time. So one special method has continued from the beginning of establishment. What is that? To fill a lake drop by drop. बूंद बूंद से घड़ा भरता है. Yeah. Even in the West, in Greek philosophy, they call it as the Sorites principle, the heap of sand. So a heap of sand becomes a heap of sand by adding grains of sand, one grain at a time, and you add uh, to the already existing grains. Then suddenly one day you create a heap of sand. Then our Indian, learnings right from childhood, we have heard that, and it's not sand. We use the example of water, and one drop at a time, and eventually we will have a full bucket. So to fill a lake drop by drop, this is the method to adopt for time too. By practicing this for whatever time you have, you'll become an ocean, an embodiment of all types of practice. Even if you just have a second, keep accumulating them for your practice. Just imagine how much you will accumulate even second by second. If you collect all of that together, it could even make half an hour. Become those who practice while walking and moving around. Just as a chatrak bird is thirsty for every drop, in the same way, if you chatraks who practice for yourself use every second to practice this, you will become embodiments of that practice. If you chatraks who practice for yourselves use every second to practice this, you will become embodiments of that practice. Don't become careless in practicing for yourself, because at the end, there'll be a need for special powers. You're going to receive numbers on the basis of those practical papers. Therefore, in order to claim a number in the first division, let your practice for yourself be fast. In that, to especially continue to practice with the power of concentration. There may be upheaval somewhere, but you must stay concentrated. To stay concentrated in a place or situation of silence is an ordinary thing, but you must become lost in the depths of the one, in the midst of upheaval in all directions. That is, you must become those who remain in solitude. So think of it, at the end when there is a lot of upheaval, if we ourselves get shaken up, then how will we bring stability to the minds of others? How will we give solace to other people's hearts? How will we serve them? How will we give them direction if we ourselves get confused? So, Baba is reminding us that we have to be able to stay in total solitude at that time of upheaval, but for that, we have to make the practice of remaining in solitude firm from now onwards. To be in solitude and stabilize yourself in concentration is the great effort of Maharatis. This is a very easy method for the new children. Just remember one thing and tell everyone one thing. So it's not difficult to remember one thing and tell everyone just one thing, is it? Yeah, if there's a list of 10 things to tell others, then it can be difficult to memorize, to remember all of those. But Baba is saying just one thing you have to remember, and that one thing you have to tell others. If there are many things, you forget them, but if there's just one thing you won't forget, continue to praise just the one. Continue to sing songs of one and continue to give the introduction of the one. This is easy, is it not? Or is it that you want to Ekras? If there's just one in our consciousness, Baba, then our stage will automatically become stable, constant, Ekras. What else do you need? You only want a constant stage. So simply remember the word one. Simply sing songs of one and remember one. It is so easy. Baba is showing you children an easy shortcut way so that you can reach there quickly. See, Baba is so caring, yeah, so merciful. He doesn't want us to toil at all. He doesn't want us to take the regular route. He's showing us the shortcut way so that you can reach there quickly. This is what you want, is it not? You've come later and you want to go ahead. So this is the shortcut way. If you continue to follow this path, you will get there ahead. The mothers want everything to be very tired. No, pardon me. The mothers want everything to be easy because you have become very tired from your many births, and so you want everything easy. You have wandered around so much. For 63 births, you have wandered around so much. Therefore, the souls who have been wandering around want an easy path. By adopting an easy path, you'll definitely reach your destination. Do you understand? By adopting an easy path, you will definitely reach your destination. Do you understand? Acha. New ones are sitting here, and Maharatis are also sitting here. Both are in front of Baba. Gujarat is the closest of all. Together with being close, it is those from Gujarat who are cooperative. In terms of cooperation, Gujarat claims a number ahead of Rajasthan. Abu is in Rajasthan. In fact, Rajasthan is closer, is it not? So, although Rajasthan is closer physically, Baba is saying that a lot of the souls in Rajasthan are still sleeping. So, if the kings of Rajasthan, yeah, Rajasthan means the land where there are lots of kings. So the kings of Rajasthan, they are not awake yet. So Baba is saying when they wake up, they can perform wonders. They are still incognito, but they will be revealed later. See, Baba is saying this in such a soft, gentle way. Do you know how Gujarat was born? Gujarat was first given cooperation. The seed was sown with the water of cooperation. In those days when Dadi Prakashmani was the chief of the Brahma Kumaris, then you see for most people, from the middle part of the country and south part of the country would all first come to Ahmedabad. And then from Ahmedabad, they would all come to Abu. Ahmedabad was a major junction for trains. In those days, nobody would take flights. So they would all come in trains. We also used to travel by trains. And so everybody would come to Ahmedabad, major junction, and then change trains to go to Abu. There were very few direct trains, if I'm not mistaken. And so Dadi understood that they have to make Ahmedabad into the major hub for Baba, for all the pilgrims who go to Abu, Madhuban. So, pardon me. So, Baba is saying, so the seed was sown with the water of cooperation. So the fruit will also be that of cooperation, will it not? Gujarat has directly received the water of the cooperation of thought from Bap Dada. So the fruit that emerges from that is that of cooperation. Because there was this seed of cooperation that was sown, there was water of cooperation that was delivered, given, showered on that seed. And so, what will happen after that? There'll be fruit of cooperation that will emerge. Do you understand? Those from Gujarat are so fortunate. Bab Dada opened a center in Gujarat. Gujarat did not open it. This is why, even against a conscious wish, the fruit of cooperation will continue to emerge. You will not have to make effort. You will not need to make effort in any task. Of course, we have to make effort, you see, but what Baba is referring to here is that struggle, that toiling, that meaningless, effort that we keep on making. Yeah, we go round and round in circles oftentimes. Baba says we'll be freed from that, liberated from all of that. And so we will get a lot of cooperation. So land is that of the fruit of cooperation. So for Gujarat, Baba is saying that, but we can all see ourselves as from Gujarat, belonging to Gujarat. Because Baba says, if even if he's addressing a certain group, Baba's teachings are for the entire world. So we too can feel as if Baba is giving us so much of cooperation. He has planted the seed of cooperation in each one of us. He has watered us with the water of cooperation. And so, what needs to emerge cooperate. And so, there has to be that freedom, that the effort, and in a way we can reach our destination, we can find success, we can be victorious while making very simple effort. No convoluted path, straight shortcut to the destination. Acha, and so now the salutations to all the chatraks who practice for themselves. Yes, self practice. You remember, self practice is going to become the oxygen which will give the breath of courage to the helpless, hopeless, disheartened souls of the world. So, to all the chatraks who practice for themselves, self practice, to the souls who stay in solitude, ek, ek se ekras, solitude, just one Baba, and have powerful concentration, to those who, with the power of their own practice, make all disheartened souls constantly happy hearted. To those who use all the powers in a practical way, to such elevated souls who practice on themselves, to the elevated souls who have a right to self sovereignty, to all such Mahavirs, courageous souls, and to all the new children. Yeah, because the new children always have that complaint that we have come later. How do we gallop and reach the destination quickly? So Baba is giving us this understanding of how to make easy effort, how to take the shortcut. Very simple. Akras. And akras can happen when we are with one Baba, that total solitude. Yeah, that focused attention, that concentration will allow us to get all the powers of the world, powers from Baba will become super powerful, and then we'll be able to give those powers to others. To and so Baba is saying all the new children, everyone, Bab Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Om Shanti. So I think we can stop here, and the rest of the Murli we can take up tomorrow. So, ek ras, through ek, one Baba, solitude, becomes so powerful. Our self-effort, self-practice becomes so awesome that becomes the breath, that becomes actually the oxygen. And through that oxygen, we are able to give the breath of courage to all the souls in the world. So again, our self effort, self practice will become the oxygen that will give the breath of courage to all the souls in the world. Om Shanti. We can take a couple of minutes to remember Baba, hold the consciousness that we are making easy effort, quickly reaching our destinations. Actually, it is one destination, right? Although each one of us have different destinations, but eventually we are going to reach there, one place. So we're quickly reaching there. We are Chatrak birds, making lots of self-effort, self-practice. We can't complain that we don't have time. We have to take our time. We have to practice what we preach. We have to Om Shanti. Back to you all, brothers and sisters. If you want to share your points, if you want to ask questions, you're welcome to. And then if not, then we can go into meditation. And
Om Shanti.
yes, Kalpesh, bye.
Yes, Kalpesh.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Divine Family. And my takeaway of this Murli is that Baba has given that you feel a lake by drop. And whatever the time I'm getting to my busy schedule, so one drop is make me ocean and become an ocean. And that emergency, that time, and we can serve lots of many people. So this is a good takeaway for me. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Divine Family.
Shanti. So it's a very wonderful Murli about the power of the powers that we get through the concentration power. So Baba say when you become lost in the depth of one, you will experience a solitude in the midst of all upheaval. So if we learn this art of concentrating uh, in just one Baba, right, then we will experience no matter what happens around us. So the art that we need to learn is the concentration power. So concentration is something that we are, we choose. Even in Laukik, this concentration plays a vital role. I think in many other Murlis also Baba said those who, cultivate this skill, they get so much of occult power also. Uh, uh, and staying with one chosen object for a long time without any sort of a distraction is actually the power of concentration. It says when you pay attention to or uh, attention to something, right? That shapes our that shapes our moment by moment, and that becomes our experience also. So there is this hearing and there is this listening, right? So listening and hearing also. It says when we hearing is without listening. So when we pay attention, right, that's when we can hear. Sorry, listen, hearing and attention. This is equal to listening. So when we hear so many things, but we won't really understand, or we may not take all the things inside. But when we hear with attention, that's when we are actually listening. So here also, when we have this concentration, even in the midst of all upheavals, we can still listen to Baba if we have this power of concentration. Om Shanti. Thank you.
So, Bijit Bhai, if there's no other sharing, shall we go into meditation for a few minutes and end?
Om Shanti, brother.
Yes, Ji. Ji.
I think being a doctor, you would have really liked the paragraph that Baba is telling you. You're only dealing with emergency cases now. Maybe just to give oxygen or just to, if suppose you have a heart attack, just to bring them back. But Baba is saying this line is going to be something very, very long. And in that kind of emergency, what are you going to do? We know that many times whenever there is an emergency, even if we are doctors, I think that you would have a much better experience as you're in that field. What is the power of concentration a doctor has at that time when he's faced with an emergency? Like we always see whenever there's an emergency, the first question the doctor asks, what happened? How did it happen? And all those kind of administrative questions. But here Baba is telling us something about a family, which I always like. That family is Ekras, Eknami, Ekant, Ekta. Even this is not those 8 Ashtashaktiya, but it is the mother of all these powers. If you want even those powers, the power to decide, power to face, power to pack up and all, the first thing you need is a focus. The first thing you needed to concentrate over there. That's why, and why does Baba say that now? Like for you, an emergency case is to bring down those people to life. But here Baba is saying, if you want to invoke any soul, so see, it's sitting over here, I want to invoke a soul, or I want to hear the sound of a soul. I want to catch a sound. I want to cooperate it. Then Baba is saying, what you need is to be lost in the depths of one thought. just one elevated thought, no other thought, no other forms of help. That one thought is Baba. That is, and that too in solitude. And now, suppose in an emergency, can I just say, okay, I have an emergency, let me stay in solitude? No, it will not work that time. So that's why Baba says from now on, practice it, because it needs effort of a long time. So just one, none but one. I think concentration power, so much you can really speak of it. But I like this one part where Baba spoke about emergency cases. I just thought about you being in that field. I wanted to know what a doctor does when really, does he really sit and concentrate at that time, or what is his elevated thought at that moment? I just wanted to know from you, brother.
Yes, Girjabin, yes. So I remember, nowadays I'm not doing too many of emergency cases and overnight calls and all that, but during residency back in India and then here too, and taking overnight calls, sometimes we have had situations where the whole bus got overturned and fell into the valley, and then all the victims, the patients were brought to the hospital, and so we are running around and doing everything. And at that time, all the practice that we have done for many years then comes handy. At that time, you can't be thinking what I have to do, what I don't have to do. You go into that autopilot mode. There are people crying everywhere, screaming in pain. Somebody is bleeding to death. You have to hold their, wounds, and so that they don't bleed too much. And then you have to give blood to them. Sometimes you have to even give your own blood. So all night you would be taking care of patients, run from one to the other. So these kind of situations happen, and so many times we would have the most hopeless situations where the family has totally lost hope, and they have brought the patient to the hospital, and then we have to try to save the patient. And sometimes we are successful and sometimes we are not. And the next day, a couple of days later, when we go and try to meet the family, meet the patient, then they feel very good. They thank us from the depths of their hearts. At that time. So yes, it all requires a lot of inner effort for a long period of time, even in that physical world, to be able to perform in those situations. And so here too, what will happen is, and you're 100% right. It feels very good when Baba is using this example, because I can actually relate to all of this. And at the end, so many people will come. They will have found nothing in that outside world. They would go to hospitals and they won't get cure to their illnesses, their ailments, and they will come to us with lots of problems. And we'll become the spiritual doctors, each one of us, you as well. Right? Will become the spiritual doctors to be able to infuse energy into them. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of chaos at that time, lot of upheaval, and there'll be a lot of demand from us. The universe will demand a lot from us. The world will demand a lot from us. And will we be able to deliver at that time? Good, Kirchapan, good. Yeah. So similarly, what Baba said, boon boon se gada barta hai. Keep making effort little by little every day. And like I was saying earlier, the Sorites principle. Sorites, that word is the Greek word. It means a grain of sand. Sand. And so you see, you take one grain of sand, it's not a heap. Just like one drop of water is not a full bucket. And so you add the second grain, again, it's not heap. Just like you add the second drop, still it's not a full bucket. So you keep adding drops of water in the bucket, you keep adding grains of salt or grains of sand. And one day, that addition of those individual grains of sand will create a big heap of sand. Yeah, you won't know it. It will automatically transition from many grains of sand to an actual heap of sand. A non-heap will become a heap. A non-full bucket will become a full bucket. Yeah. So one day we'll become full, little by little. Okay, Ji. Shall we end here? Your brothers and sisters? Yes?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, Vijit Bhai.
Yeah, we can see the meditation if there are no sharing. Aji.
Okay. So 1 or 2 minutes, we can again hold the consciousness of one focused attention, one Baba, ek ras. That focused attention, that laser-like attention. Nothing else matters. And through that focused attention, let's draw all of Baba's energy, all of Baba's power within ourselves. Make ourselves so full that we can then serve the entire world. Now, especially at the end. So let's see ourselves for a moment at the very end, where there's extreme upheaval, but we are full. We have nothing to worry. Let's see ourselves giving to the world. All the self-effort, the self-practice that we have made over the years is now coming handy. And so our self-effort, self-practice is becoming the oxygen that is allowing others in the world to breathe, giving them the breath of courage through their hopeless, helpless, chaotic lives. Om Shanti. Ami Ben, you want to end? To say what you say?
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Shwetampai. Thank you, Divine Family. We shall connect again tomorrow. Until then, all have a great day.
All right.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.